Joining us now in the Specialties Hotline. Again, that great gear down in Geneseo, great company, Specialties. We'll tell you more about them later on in the program. First, let's welcome on the coach of the Pittsford Sutherland boys soccer team, a longtime assistant who then became the head guy over in Sutherland. Sean Hopkins joins us. Hi, Coach.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for having us on. We appreciate it.
We're also going to have on one of the top players in Section 5, one of your studs. He's been had that status for a while. Dylan Kladstrup will join us. But, Coach, let me ask you about this team defending a championship this year. You start the season with a loss to Athena, which is no big deal, right? It's Athena. But let me go back to a couple of years ago. You started that season when you guys finally broke the 10-year drought of winning a championship at Sutherland with a 2-4-1 record. I know you don't want to start 2-4-1.
That's for sure.
Do you ever use that and say, hey, guys, look it, we started slow once before we won a championship? Do you ever go back to that moment?
Oh, yeah, we talk about that a lot. I think that year we actually finished the season 500 and then went on that run to win sectionals and then make it to the state Final Four. So, yeah, I mean, it's always about getting better. There's always going to be hiccups. Obviously, Athena's a really good team that we just lost to last Saturday. I think we're a really good team, too. And we came out in that game. We got a couple early goals and went up. And I think Athena woke up after about 12 minutes and then really gave it back to us and put it on us for a good amount of time. They're a really good team, and it was a great game. And looking forward to the next one we play against them.
Sean, with 2020 just being 2020, what can you expect with just all the strangeness and obstacles that you've had to overcome? It hasn't been an off season like anything else in terms of training and organization and everything like that. So when you have an established program like yours in a season like this, what are your expectations?
I think our expectations, honestly, are always the same. We're always expecting to fight for a league title, and then we're always expecting to fight for that sectional title and hope to advance. I think that's kind of our mindset over here now, and we've been doing that for a few years, and we're hoping to do the same. Obviously, this year is very different, and a lot of the guys did not have a chance to train much these last 6 months. So, there's definitely hasn't been as much fitness as normal because we don't need guys getting hurt early on. I've probably played more than I've ever played in a preseason. I mean by 11v11. We don't do a whole lot of 11v11 work, but I felt like I had to this year just to get guys back in shape to play a full field game. So we've definitely played a lot more and not as many drills, I would say. And I think it's helped them, and they're getting back into it. And we've already showed a lot of improvement from Athena to Brockport. I know we're going to continue again tomorrow against Arcadia. So I think we'll be okay.
We're recording this before the Thursday Arcadia game, and then today at 2 o'clock being Saturday, you're at home actually to Canandaigua on Saturday, 2 o'clock start, right, Sean?
Correct. Yeah, that's actually going to be our senior day.
Okay, perfect. And Steve, just so you know, when he said how we're doing things over here, he means Sutherland versus Mendon, because this guy used to be a Mendon assistant. And now, by the way, it's Sutherland that has won 2 titles in 3 years. Hopefully the Mendon folks hear this, right, Sean?
Yeah, hopefully.
Kidding aside, so let me ask you about this young man that we're going to talk to in a second here, Dylan Kladstrup, because my memories, I don't cover sports on a daily basis anymore, but he's got the game-winning goal, I believe, in both Section 5 championship games. Didn't Masral score an insurance goal when didn't Dylan get the game winner?
He did, yes, he did, and Maz ended up scoring late that game
to seal it,
put us up 2-0. Yep.
Yeah. So
and then he scored last year against Wayne in the final to win 1-0.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Two both championships right on his foot, and he was the only freshman you had on that team 3 years ago when he was the young guy. What made you bring him up? What did you see in him then, and what kind of player is he now?
Well, and that freshman year, he also was the guy that made the PK that advanced us past Brockport to the regionals. So he's kind of always had that knack of getting the big goal. I actually got the chance to start coaching him at about 7th grade. He was playing for Empire RFC, and I was putting a team together here at the Mustangs with all Pittsford kids. And I tried to talk him into coming back and dual rostering with us and kind of, getting back with your buddies and playing. So I think it helped build our relationship by starting so early in 7th grade. And I mean, everything he does on the field, he's always putting up points, and he's not a selfish player. I mean, he gets a lot of assists. he's actually currently number 2 in Sutherland history in assists, trying to catch Paul Valeni this season. So we'll see what happens there. He just moved up in overall points to number 4, which he doesn't even know already this season for Sutherland history. So, I mean, he's a guy that just finds the back of the net and finds players that find the back of the net, and everybody dies for a player like that. So we're just lucky.
Is that something, Coach, that a player is born with, or is that something that they learn as they go along?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I know that he's played so much soccer at such a high level for so long that I'm sure that he's really picked up on that by playing around such good players and for good coaches. And he does it. I mean, he finds ways to do it.
Well, let's bring him on real quick here, Sean. But actually, before we bring him on, Coach, tell me about the makeup of this team. What are the strengths? Who are some other guys that you really look to be leaders?
Yeah, so Jack Leahy has been leading for us. He played a lot last year as a sophomore, or as a junior, sorry, and then he's going to be leading us again this year. Matt Nixon, our goalie, has been a 2-year starter in net, really strong goalie. And then Ian Bowen, his brother Will, was a captain last year. He's a captain this year. He's in the center back for us. So I got 4 good senior captain leaders. It's an old team. We're all juniors and seniors this year, which is we've had a lot of younger players in the past. So that's a little different. So these guys have all kind of had a part of it. They've all played a little bit. They have varsity experience, and we're hoping for good things.
Well, Steve, why don't we bring on the young man, our U.S. Army Warrior of the Week. His name is Dylan. Thank you, Coach Hopkins. His name is Dylan Kladstrup. And, you know, they always say, Steve, he's the son of a coach. And people always say that when it's like the son of a male coach. But he's the son of a really good female coach, the Brighton girls soccer coach. A long time. She's won some Section 5 titles. Rita Kladstrup, the former Rita Bartuka of Newark fame. Dylan, I've been around so long. I covered her when she was in high school, Dylan. So congrats on your success, young man. What I guess some people don't know, but you had a chance to play in Spain last spring and you took it. How did that come about? And tell us a bit about that experience.
Well, last year I was trying to find the new opportunity because here in the U.S. it's harder to do things in the soccer world. And somehow I got connected to this academy in Spain called International Development Academy, which is a team you go and play for. You live there. It's just you and the team on like a whole entire kind of like campus for the team. And then at night, only like half the kids go off to play club, which is like Spanish club soccer. And I got lucky enough to get on a 3rd division team, and I train with them every night in the evening.
Dylan, what has that experience done for you as not just a player, but as a person, to have those experiences at your age and have, you know, the world be such a place that's changing so fast? Has that helped you to mature quickly and be more grown up as we faced a lot of challenges in recent months?
No, yeah, it's very challenging. And also it's just like something new. It's like a new experience. Like you're living like on your own. Like you don't have like your parents every day to like do your laundry for you and stuff and like make sure you got everything. So like it's a whole new experience.
What's something that you can do now that you couldn't do before you went to Spain because you have to do it?
In terms of COVID?
No, in terms of like, do you
Soccer.
like do your own laundry now? Are you more responsible? Do you cook? Do you?
No, yes, I am
skills?
Much more responsible.
Were you always coming back home to play your senior year, or were you going to possibly stay there?
I was possibly going to stay there, but the main reason why I was contemplating it was this whole COVID situation, how that's impacted a lot. But as soon as I found out it's like a shortened season, I'm like, okay, like I want to do it. Like it's my senior year, like I'll go have fun, and then I'll be returning to Spain right after.
Are you going to stay in Spain, or do you want to play college in the U.S.?
Right now I'm just going to be staying in Spain because the training there is a lot better for me. And I can still figure out where I want to go to college by the end of the year, and I'll be fine because the Division I dead period for soccer is January 1st.
You know, let me tell you that it's this. You know, he's a soccer guy because he said the word training. It's not practice; it's training. And I'm only joking when I said it, but you were raised around the game. Your mother played the sport. What impact, or how much of an impact did she have on you, and as you grew up as an athlete?
Well, ever since I was little, she would always put like a ball, like literally have like a ball at my foot, and like there's just always be balls laying around the house, and like she would always like obviously made me get into it when I was a kid and when I didn't have any choices, and then I just like fell in love with it. It's been like my thing.
Were you born in Colorado? Were you
Yeah.
born? Yeah. Okay. You're born in Colorado. I'm going to tell you a quick anecdote that I don't know if I should share on the air, but what the heck? It's only a computer call.
Yeah.
Your mom called me once and said, I wonder, should I put him in the academy? Should I put him in this system where he's not going to play high school soccer? And I said, Rita, you're a coach of a high school soccer team. She said, what do you think, Jeff? I go, these teams make memories all the time. You know, I didn't, and I was like, Rita, do you really want him to lose out on the chance of winning a Section 5 championship? Was that ever possible where you were going to give up high school soccer altogether and just go with the U.S. Development Academy?
There's been many times where that's come into play. It's like probably my sophomore, junior, and now going into senior year, I've had to make decisions based off that involves with the Development Academy and my academy in Spain.
What brings you back here to Sutherland?
It's just like playing high school soccer is just something like different. Like you get to like play with the kids you like kind of like grow up with, like going to school with, and it's like fun. It's really fun.
So Dylan, you've scored a lot of big goals, and coach talked about it. That doesn't seem like any moment is too big for you. Do you feel that, that ability to come through in the clutch is something that's learned, or is that something that you've worked toward, or is it something that some athletes are able to do it and others can't?
Well, I like to think of it as I like when it comes to those games, like I take it like very seriously, and like I just like don't let anything get into my head, and I just play the way I know how to play.
You know what's really cool is Dylan and the young man Dylan Rice, both Dylans. You guys are both talented players who can take over games. But from what both your coaches have told us, you make the right play. You know, you don't ball hog it. You might have to ball hog it sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
To be honest, when I was younger, like my freshman and like sophomore year, like I like dribbled the ball a lot. And I wasn't like in the swing of like high school. And then it was really the second that I like started like getting into like the DAs at like academy practices. And then as soon as I went to Spain, like everything's just so quick and you just have to get used to it. It's like a whole different game.
Well, I know you have high hopes to win another Section 5 championship. Steve, anything else you want to jump in here with a young man? Did they call you DK, by the way? Is it DK? DK?
Yeah.
DK sounds like DK. Just your teammates and everything. Just you talked about the bond and the reason you came back, and you've won 2 sectional titles in 3 years. You're going for 3 out of 4. What's it like to just have that experience with your friends? Because it seems like that was something that drew you back, and maybe the soccer isn't the same level as the academy, but the memories are forever.
Memories are forever. And ever since my freshman year, I just loved high school soccer. Like before COVID, it was like you got a bunch of kids like you go to school with, come and watch, and you're playing with all the kids you hang out with after school and go do fun things with. It's just that whole family bond.
Well, Dylan, we appreciate your time today. Please tell Coach thank you very much, and good luck to you and the Knights the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Dylan Kladstrup and Pittsford Sutherland Soccer right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. We'll take our first break, and as we do that, I'm going to tell you about my friends from Bath Fitter. My friends from Bath Fitter they're one of the hottest operations going in the Bath Fitter train. I just was speaking with Steve Gangaroso, the regional manager, today actually, and he was saying that the numbers here keep going up, and that's because they do quality work with Bath Fitter. I mean, word of mouth. You guys know Rochester's a small town, right? Word of mouth travels fast if you do good work. And that's what's happening with Bath Fitter. Check out what they can do online, bathfitter.com. They can do a job in 1 day. 1 day, folks. That's unheard of. They can do a great job there. 617-0007. Check them out online, bathfitter.com. We'll take our first break. You're listening to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show, brought to you by Salvatore's Pizza.